People. Que pasa, sapa, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. First thing that is popping in the news, straight out of the files of the Fast and Furious. These people, these criminals in Jamaica, them fast like 10 shibada fish. Now people, I received a video the other day and it is said to be some sorts of shooting caught on CCTV. People, take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece. Now people, when we look at a video like that, we hear the corn, or if you listen, you could hear a couple of corn bus. 15 seconds or so afterwards, then we saw two men dressed up black like a lions, ablaze as if they're in the finals of the World Championship or the Olympics 100-meter sprint. They make a mad dash feet out of here. If you also notice, this is brawling, broad daylight. Gone are the days when these people move in the still of night. Them not really care anymore. Broad daylight, brazen, it does not matter who they, which part, when, where, and how. If them have a mission to crush, they are going to crush the mission, do it and done, regardless of who they, regardless of the circumstances. If them have a target, the target needs to be taken out right on the spot. And people, you see, say they are armed, they are dangerous, they are fast, they are furious. So what is the average person going to do when somebody like this or these type of people pounce upon you? People, Jamaica is held hostage, point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, there used to be a song, and the lyrics of the song says something like this. Everything happening foreign, a yardie get the blame, Jamaican get the blame. People, that is no longer the fact. Because the truth and the fact is that Jamaicans are involved in everything, all types of wrongdoing, overseas. So me just say, no matter which part on the planet, on the globe, if I egg them inna the red. Now people, the authorities in Lagos, Nigeria, they busted a group, conspiracy, cartel, cocaine, people involved from Colombia, Europe, Africa, and people, yes, Jamaicans. If you look at your screen right now, you will see a picture. In that picture of 5 suspects that was held in the biggest bus, Coco bus in a Nigeria, Lagos to be specific, is a Jamaican. Based on the street value in excess of 280 million US dollars. 1.93 billion Lagos, sorry, my bad. People, whichever kind of money I talk about, that is buku cash. That is a whole bunch of cash. Based on information, it is said that the Nigerian Lagos Authority, they've been monitoring this cartel for a very long time. 2018 to be specific. They have them under the radar. However, they did not know that they are being tracked with the U.S. authority. So pretty much this was a collaboration with the DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency from America and Nigeria. Them link up together. They were monitoring the phones, tapping everything. Aerial surveillance, satellite, you name it, they were doing it. And people, them bust them finally at some sort of warehouse, look like some sort of abandoned building. And people, when they went there, they found all of this cocoa. This cocoa was in 10 traveling bags, suitcase, and all sorts of jam. So people, we are talking about cocoa on top of cocoa. So much cocoa, you'd have thought that this was the Coca-Cola factory. However, the interesting part of all of this is that there was one Jamaican in it. Guess what the Jamaican name is? His name is Kevin Smith. Now people, I don't know if that is his legal government name or because that case was popping in a Jamaica. So people, me just say, I think that it is more than coincidental that this man's name is Kevin Smith. I think that when the authority asked him, he could not come up with anything else, and the only thing that came to his mind is Kevin Smith, based on that popular or infamous character in a Montego Bay, point blank and period. However, people, the moral of the story is this. Can't anything happen in this world where Jamaican is not involved? If it's bad, Jamaican in there. If a money, Jamaican in there. So people, like them say, money is always the motive. Money or the love of money is the root of all evil. So people, like them say, when you're involved in big game, expect to get big time, point blank and period. Because we know, say, once a drug enforcement agency, DEA, is involved, because these cocoa is reaching on their borders, they are going to make sure that you get the full brunt of the law, meaning X amount of time, a couple of decades, point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news is an update about an incident that took place about 4 years ago. It involved a young girl at the time. She was 9. Her name is Kedisha Saunders. Kedisha Saunders was leaving school, going home, when a youth at the time, 13-year-old, invited her to pick apples with him. She accepted the invitation. While they were walking through the bushes, the youth, 13 at the time, 4 years ago, he is 17 now, he was sentenced. Him pretty much hold on the little pitney, jump over our fence, back door, front door. He then commenced to choking her, to DEATH. Very sad. Based on the information, it is said that the judge, he was sentenced yesterday. The judge sentenced this youth 17, 4 years later, 13 at the time, to 23 years for the takeaway of the girl, 9 at the time. She would have been 13 today had she been alive, had she had that chance. Also, 18 years for jump over our fence, front fence, 10 years to jump over the back fence. They are going to run concurrent. He is eligible for parole after 23 years and 9 months. The DPP wanted 20 years after. He is eligible after 20 years. Him get more than the DPP wanted. Don't know why there was any sorts of leniency based on the action of this little youth. Now people, here's the thing that is very disturbing about this case. When this case went to court and this youth gave his statement or testimony, he claims that while he was walking, him and the girl, 2 men there with machete, and the 2 men them force him at machete and GUN point for do his deed, make him go through the back door and then the front door. However, he would deny that he went through the back door. However, scientific evidence, DNA, would prove that he did. However, after him do him deed, front and back door, him decides, say, well, me no want no evidence left, so therefore, me I go choke this little pitney and take her out. People, remember, this youth was 13 at the time. So it only shows you the type of monsters that we are breeding in Jamaica. This is a perfect example. After the trial and the sentence, he said that he is disappointed that he was found guilty. The report that they do before the sentence, the people them say, listen, this youth is not showing any sort of remorse. This youth is not saying that he is guilty. And even though he might have given some sort of confession statement or whatever them call it, he is still not remorseful. He is still blaming or claiming that two men, one with a machete and the next man with a tool, force him to do that. Now, people, I am not saying that there are not some sick characters out there in Jamaica. We know that. However, his story is far-fetched. At the end of the day, people, if you do the crime, you must be able to do the time. And even though this youth was 13 at the time, he is 17 now. His action, the monstrosity, the wickedness, the demonicness, the evilness of his deeds would make him seem as if he is a full-grown monster. So therefore, there should be no sorts of mercy for the merciless, no sorts of leniency. However, people, when we think about it, he is 17 now. Add 24 years to that. That our 41. 41, he might come out and people, the operative word, he is eligible. It does not mean that he is going to be guaranteed parole or probation, whatever. So therefore, they will have to re-evaluate him after 23 years and 9 months. And people, based on his action, I don't see how he could receive any sorts of leniency. Now, people, when the parents were asked, the parents of Kedisha, how do they feel? They said, yes, it is disappointing. The boy, even though he was 13 at the time, did a very bad deed. So therefore, if you can do the time, you do the crime. They are disappointed, however, they are relieved that this is over. Them get some sorts of closure. And they can move on with their life. At the end of the day, even with the 23 years and 9 months, plus the 4 years afterwards, I don't know if that was counted. Does not matter. Well, it does matter. But me just say, even with the time, it won't bring their daughter back. So therefore, even though he got 23 years and 9 months, plus the 18 years, plus the 10 years, which is going to run side by side. After that time is over, this parent or these parents, once they are alive for the rest of their natural life, they will be sentenced, reminiscing on their daughter that they lost, point blank and period. Now, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. I understand that you have options. I appreciate the fact that if you like news that is straightforward, no beating around the bush, no sorts of gimmicks, straight to the point, please to show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. That is how YouTube promotes this video to like-minded, wise, sensible people like yourself. Bless up.